And that gets us to today's top talker, which centers around Tito talking. He has a unique way with words.
The wordsmith.
He really is. He's got a style that blends humor with self-deprecation, but there's always a simple nugget of wisdom in there.
That's
always.
right.
Yeah, so we brought in 3 News observationist.
Good word.
Mike Polk, who's gone back to take a look at some of Tito's sound bites, and you're here with those now. Because
That's right.
he can have some profound
He can.
quotes.
He surprises you sometimes. And of course, what triggered all of this for me was you saw that unfortunately his motor scooter got taken again. Did you see
Right,
that?
yes,
Stolen yet
I
again.
can't believe that.
And that's what started this all off for me. It was the day of Terry Francona's emotional farewell that we all learned that Tito's cherished motorized scooter had recently been stolen for the 2nd time this season, which is a bummer, and it's kind of awkward when you're trying to show gratitude to someone for everything they've done for your city, but people in the city keep stealing the stuff that he loves on his way out the door. It's not a great look, and I worry that it complicates the messaging. But of course, when asked about it, Tito took it in stride and responded in good humor, lamenting, quote, "The hog has been officially put on ice. It got stolen again, but this time they stripped it."
Oh.
Yeah, now that's a vintage Titoism, of which there are many during his tenure here. Francona was a great communicator who, win or lose, always was quick with a memorable quote. Some were inspirational, some were silly, and some were quite profound. Here are a few of my favorites. Here, on the elusiveness of victory, quote, "You always think you're going to win until you don't." Good point.
That's a Yogi Berra-ism.
It almost
Yeah.
is. Okay, here's the next one. On the value of simplicity, 2 things are for sure. We'll have our fans and clean underwear. Great.
Are those for sure?
Okay, I
All
guess.
right.
Yeah, not when I'm there. In regards to process, I like information. I love when smart people make me think of something in a new way. That's a good quote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When asked about recent heart problems, he responded, "If you're asking if I've gained perspective, no. I've never had it, never will." That's some of that self-deprecating Tito humor we love. On respecting the game, quote, "If you get eliminated, it doesn't open the door or give you the right to just show up and mail it in for the rest of the season. We'll never do that." And they never did.
Good
No,
for him.
not under Tito, they didn't.
On the subject of loyalty, once players have my trust, they have it. And that's another one that was very
Yeah,
true with him.
that is absolute. That's his trademark, really.
Yeah.
On what it was like managing in 40-degree weather in Cleveland, quote, "I tried to go to the bathroom in the 4th inning and couldn't. That tells you enough."
That's a lot of information there.
And finally, on the love of the game, I don't think I'll ever have a day when I don't like coming to the ballpark.
Aw. And we will never have a day when we don't want him there.
That's true. So, guys,
Never.
my point is, don't forget that while we are indeed sadly saying goodbye to one of baseball's best managers, we're simultaneously losing one of Cleveland's finest philosophers. And I don't think there's anything truer to be said. I mean, the guy had some great points.
That's
you can kill
absolutely
the sappy
true.
music now. That was my fault. It's like as if he were passed away. He's still with us.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
he's like
he's
in the
still with us.
hotel with us.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
He's fine. Hi, Tito.
I thought the music was appropriate. It
Yeah,
was,
it was.
It was melancholy, but upbeat, if
Maybe
that's
not for the
possible.
bathroom one, but other than that. That's the thing, you get both with him. You do.
We're going
He's
to
a
do
mixed
this for
bag.
Mike at some point, too, because his one-liners are just
Yeah.
stellar.
Well, that's
what
why
do you
he's so good to
remember?
do that.
What do you remember
I
about
remember his
Tito?
humor.
Okay.
He is wickedly funny. I told the story on the air about his last day at ESPN, and he whispered to me and told me to turn my microphone off because he didn't want producers to hear. But he said, "I'm going to interview for the Indians job right now." And I said, "Interview for it? Why do you need to interview
go take
for it? You just won 2 World Series with the Red Sox." And he laughed and chuckled and goes, "Well, I still have to go earn my keep." And that wasn't true. It was his job. All he had to do was show up.
Yeah, but he set that as an example, too. And he was, more than anything, he knew how to communicate with those kids. And you know that's one of the things that made him so effective, especially with all the young talent and everything.
not easy.
You're a babysitter. You got a bunch of 19-year-old boys who are terrified in this new scary world with all this money, and he's got to manage them all.
Yeah.
He was really good at that.
From many cultures.
Yeah, from many cultures.
And I haven't seen anyone do that any better in my lifetime.
You do it with that kind of witticism and philosophy is how you do it.
Well said.
Yeah.
Nice
Great
job.
piece,
Thanks.
Mike.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you,
No,
Mike.
thank you. Thank you, Tito.